New game in order. This is the man, the myth, the juggernaut. Alex Lex is hitting you with the head crush. And I am doing this impromptu video because chances are I probably won't be able to air the podcast tonight. But just in case, I wanted to produce this while I'm driving home from work. Got my tie off. It's 87 degrees up here in Jersey. So with that being said, I wanted to address the crossplay fiasco that's plaguing Sony right now, and I'm not. Part of me doesn't want to go into an "I told you so" mode, but I think that it's gonna happen inevitably. But here's my thing: I had said this long time ago. You can go back to the days that when Nelson was still with this company. Even all the other staff members. I remember there was a particular show where I said that, you see, a company like Sony cannot be in the lead because they're quick to lose their humble nature. During the PlayStation 3 era, they were getting beat up by the 360 or for whatever reason. And mind you, the PS3 was power-wise was more powerful than the 360. However, Microsoft had strategic planning with Call of Duty and so on and so forth. So somehow they edged out Sony. And with that being said, where Microsoft was being crucified for charging for Xbox Live, and Sony's counter to that was having PlayStation Network but for free. I remember this used to get thrown in my face often where, oh yeah, Sony's doing this and they're pro-consumer and this. Yeah, alright, I'm about to drop some facts on y'all. Because now, Sony only did that because Microsoft was charging for Xbox Live, and PlayStation Network at the time wasn't on the same level as Xbox Live. Period. Don't argue with me. Now, when you jump into the PS4 era, they start charging for PlayStation Network, but now it's okay. Yeah, Sony can charge, but Microsoft was burned at the stake for it. So it's like almost anything that Sony did, like, they can do no wrong. And part of this argument now, where they're blocking crossplay with other users, it's good. I'm telling you, some of these fanboys are going to white knight this, and I call complete and utter bullshit. Nintendo and Microsoft, it's like, I think Nintendo sees the bigger picture. They say they're not in direct competition with Microsoft or Sony, but like, for Nintendo to play nice with an American manufacturer of hardware, Nintendo and Microsoft, yet Sony is blocking crossplay. I've always said this. That's anti-consumer. And for those of you who blindly support Sony, this is what I was telling y'all about. You give Sony the edge. Sony has a dominance on the market, and they're going to give you their ass to kiss. And this is exactly what I was talking about. I knew something like this would happen, and I'm not rejoicing in it because, unlike some folks, I hope that Sony turns it around for us as the gamers. Because I want to say, I have a dream that one day there'll be a Call of Duty game, or there'll be a Battlefield game, or one giant first-person shooter arena game where Microsoft fans and Xbox Live and PlayStation, PSN guys can duke it out. I want to see faction wars and things like that. I think that, aside from my disdain for Sony initially, I actually, it's just like you vote for a politician, and once they're in charge, you don't want them to fail. Microsoft needs Sony, Sony needs Nintendo, Nintendo needs Microsoft. No one should fail. However, the gamers should always, the consumers should always be put at the forefront. Now, Sony, they're in the lead. Now they're giving everybody their behinds a kiss. Microsoft's not off the hook because when it was pitched before, they had that same thing. So Microsoft, you got what you gave. Now, where Sony is in such a lead. Now you see, Microsoft reversed their positions on a lot of things. So did Nintendo. However, Sony, they're sticking to their guns. And shout out to the YouTubers and the vloggers from Stone Fox Media, Review Tech USA, Angry Joe, all of those guys that are calling Sony out on that BS. Now you have Sony fans who are actually pissed off, like, wait a minute, if I link my Epic account for Fortnite, if you bond it to PSN, you cannot use your content or any progress thereafter. It's stuck to your Sony account. It's stuck to your PSN. That's foul. That's wrong on the highest order. So, and I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to have to call him back.